Well, a very good morning to you and welcome back to the Castle of Good Hope here in Cape Town, where the Department of Defence and Military Veterans is commemorating the 350th year of the existence of this building. Now, a little bit earlier on, I spoke about how the Castle of Good Hope means different things to different people. But for indigenous groups such as the Khoisan, it's about the dispossession of land. It's about the dispossession of livestock. And some people go as far as saying the dispossession of dignity. Now, the year-long commemoration theme for the Castle of Good Hope was called Breaking the Curse, Freedom from Oppression. Now, to tell us more about this commemoration, we are now joined by the CEO of the castle, Mr. Calvyn Gilfellan.
Hi, good morning, and thanks for that kind introduction. Indeed, it's breaking the curse from oppression to freedom. And I think it's apt that we, in this 350th year of the castle, restore the dignity of people, restore the dignity of indigenous people, but all people. Because I think nobody in this land is not indirectly or directly touched by what happened at the castle over these 3.5 centuries.
Now, talk to us more. I think recently the Khoisan people had a cleansing ceremony here at the castle. What was that all about?
Yes, if you look at the historic records, there's a river not far behind us, and the historical references that we could pick up indicate that there were indeed Khoisan people living in this vicinity where the castle has been built. So you could rightly say that this has been a forced removal happening 350 years ago. So I think it is about the restoration, or the cleansing ceremony was about restoring the indignity that happened, restoring the dispossession of land, restoring the fact that people were kept illiterate, restoring that people were persecuted amongst these 5 halls. And I think that's behind the theme. And I think this crowning event here today is blessed by the rain behind us, and indeed looking at to celebrate the castle in an inclusive and in a manner that the world take note that we embrace our entire history, our entire culture, our heritage, because I think all of us are affected by that, and the economy is affected by that, history is affected by that, culture is affected by that, so that's why we celebrate this year.
Now, also there will be 4 sculptures that will be unveiled a little bit later on. Tell us more about those sculptures and where can we see them in the future?
Yes, I don't know if you can see the sculptures behind us, the viewers can see it, but that's important. Those sculptures have reference to people who have been persecuted and detained right in these castle halls. So if you look at your left-hand side, it's King Tetwayo. He and his wives, after the Battle of Ulundi, when he was detained by the Brits, has been detained here. Then Doman, of course. Doman has been able to be detained in the castle, but he is the first recorded freedom fighter. So when Van Riebeeck was starting to give out land to the freeburgers, he realized, the Khoisan people realized, that listen here, these people are not here temporarily, they come here to settle themselves. So he battled them gallantly, so he's the first freedom fighter. And in fact, it was on rainy days like these that Doman gathered his troops, because the weapons, the Dutch weapons couldn't fire because it's of course wet. And I think it's a reminder of the tactical prowess of somebody like Doman. And then King Langalebelele the first was also detained here. And then of course King Sekhukhune was also detained here. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. Well, that was the CEO of the Castle of Good Hope, Mr. Calvyn Gilfellan, telling us more about what the commemoration is all about. Well, now it's back to you in the studio.